Hi, I'm Grant Stern, and I'm here for PINAC News. We're here live with Jason Morrison. Jason was arrested in Austintown, Ohio, which is just outside of Youngstown, solely for the crime of exercising his First Amendment rights and filming traffic signals. Jason, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So, Jason, tell our audience briefly about the incident that caused you to get arrested for exercising your First Amendment rights.
Okay, well, as most people can see in the video, I was in Austintown filming a traffic light. Most people want to know why I was filming a traffic light, so I'll kind of elaborate a little bit on that. First and foremost, there was a guy that I know. He'd gotten a ticket for running a red light there. He said that it went from green to red, that the yellow light was burnt out. So it kind of piqued my curiosity, so that's one of the main reasons why I was there. Filming the traffic light, trying to get a timestamp of it to see if it changed any different between during the night from the daytime to see how fast it changed. As I was doing that, what appeared to be what I first thought and most people thought was a police officer that showed up on the scene in his personal car. Turned out it was
that wasn't a cop, though, right?
No, he was a security guard, as it turns out. Yeah.
He's a mall cop.
So, yeah. So he stopped, gets out, asked me what I was doing. I explained to him what I was doing. I was doing an experiment with a traffic light film in it, and began to continue to ask me questions, why this time and stuff. Well, at that point, I just, I'm like, okay, I could tell by his demeanor and his attitude that, he's just being confrontational and an idiot. So I just decided not to really engage him anymore. Which is my right, I don't have to speak to him.
Of course, but he wasn't even a police officer, not a real one.
Yeah, correct. So then, he shines his light in my camera and stuff and everything. Well, I asked him twice if he was a cop because I noticed the uniform, he had a badge, what appeared to be a gun. I couldn't really tell. It might have been even a cell phone on the side, but it looked like a gun. So I'm asking, I asked him twice, are you a cop? Or if you're a cop, what's your badge number? Well, he didn't say that he wasn't a cop, didn't say he was a cop. He said, I'm off duty going home. So that made me believe.
Off duty from the mall.
Well, yeah, what he should have said was, no, I'm a security guard and I'm just concerned what you're doing or something of the sort. But anyway, so he gets on the phone.
He took off, right? And then later an actual police officer showed up in his place.
No, he didn't even take off.
He stuck around?
Yeah, he stuck around because he got on the phone and I tried to get his license plate number, and it didn't turn out very well. But I was like, okay, well, I'm not sticking around for this bull crap. So I ended up walking home. Started walking towards the back direction of my house and stuff and everything. Well, as you noticed, though, I stayed with all legal limits. On the sidewalks, everything else.
Yeah, we saw that you were in the swale, you were on the sidewalk, you were in a public place.
Correct. So anyway, well, then state troopers showed up. The first state trooper that showed up asked me what I was doing. I explained to him, I was out filming the traffic light and documenting traffic light for a timestamp and everything else. And I even offered to show him the video of what I was doing. He declined, said, no, that's fine, it's not a problem. Asked, would I mind showing my ID? Well, I asked him, if he didn't have any reasonable suspicion, articulate reasonable suspicion that a crime's been committed or anything of that sort, then I'd rather not. He said, okay, no, that's fine, you're right.
Now that was a Ohio State trooper, not a local policeman.
Correct. That's correct. Yeah, that was Ohio State. So then there was a second Ohio State
here, because there's a very important piece of case law that you referenced when you asked that police officer to articulate probable cause. Are you familiar with it?
Actually, I read up on it a little bit. I was never really big, but I've actually really have studied it now.
Now I'm sure you know, and I'm going to share with our audience that case is called Terry versus Ohio. And basically, to request identification, which is considered a Fourth Amendment search, an officer has to have an articulable probable cause. They have to be able to say to you what their probable cause you've committed a crime is, to be able to request your ID legally.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so it's ironic that that this happened in Ohio, where you live.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that should be like one of the first things that they taught scenes that this law originated from here. So that's what baffled me. Well, the second state trooper he pulled up asked, same thing, what's
Well,
going on?
was it a second state trooper, or was this a second the local police?
No, no, no. The second one was also a state trooper. I had two state troopers that showed up on scene first.
Okay, and then what? 5 or 6 minutes later,
Yeah,
somebody from the Austintown PD showed up.
yes, correct. So then once Austintown showed up, he didn't even ask me what I was doing. The first thing that he did came up and was ask me for my ID. You have ID on you. I said, yes, I do. He's like, well, let me see it. I'm like, well, do you have any? Again, I asked him the same question. He was like, well, we got a call. I was like, a call about what? That you were out shooting video and pictures. I'm like, in a public area. I was like, that's not a crime. He's like, well, he didn't really have an answer. He's like, well, give me your ID. And now this in the video goes back and forth for about 3 or 4 minutes.
So basically, the policeman's only articulable suspicion of a crime was photography.
Correct.
And next time you'll tell him photography is not a crime, right?
.com. Correct. Yes, that is correct. So anyway, well, I almost caved in because I wasn't really I almost caved in, and I asked him one more time. I said again, what is your reasonable suspicion? Well, we got a call. I asked him again, a call about what? Oh, you were taking videos. Well, and that's when I said that's not a crime, and I put my ID back in, and he's like, well, so you're not going to get to me, well, I'm going to take you to jail. I'm going to arrest you. Well, I said, arrest me. So then once I was arrested, as you can see, like when my hand goes behind the back, that's when the video cut off. Now I'm in the car. He has my phone. He's trying to go through my phone, but he can't get in because once you click the button on the iPhone, it shuts off.
Right. Okay. So that's something good to point out, that if you are video recording the police, the best thing to do, if they, do actually seek to detain you, whether it's for recording or for anything, lock your phone down.
Correct. That's what I did. And it's why most people were like, well, did he shut the video off? No, I did. Because had I kept it running, and he would have been able to delete the video. So I clicked the button on the side there and shut it down. And hopefully, I was hoping that anything after that would be either dash cams, audio type of deal, which they didn't have any in the car. You'll figure.
Luckily.
But yeah, for the so now I have to prove my innocence, because that's what we do in America these days. Now we have to prove our innocence. So I'm in the car. He has my cell phone, and he's trying to unlock it, which most people, unless you have the passcode or the thumbprint, you can't do it. Well, he asked the state trooper, do I want a copy of the video, or does he want a copy of the video? And the state trooper was like, no, man, I don't want no part of this. This is I'm out of here. So he noped the hell out of there real quick on that one.
Well, did you ever find out which state trooper witnessed all of this? Because
I did.
Get called as a witness, right?
Yes, I did not. I did not get his name yet. My attorney has filed for the discovery and everything. We're trying to get the name still. I don't know if he got it yet or not, but the name of the initial guy, the wannabe cop, we're trying to get his name, which they should have it on 911 records. So anybody that is out there watching right now, if you could file a Freedom of Information Act public records request to 911 and get his name, I would be greatly appreciated. And then the two state troopers that were on scene that night. Again, this was what was that, the 20th? It was on a Saturday morning. I think it was March 20th or 21st. Around between 1 to 1:30 in the morning is when this took place. So
to finish the story, they took you into custody. I think anybody that watches the video, and there's a link on photographyisnotacrime.com, and inside our live viewing link, there is a link where you can actually watch the original video. It's about 7 minutes long. Most of the action happens from minute 5 to minute 7. But I think anybody that watches that video can see that you were very rational, that you were very calm, that you were very specific in dealing with the police. And then what happened when they broke the report?
Well, that's the thing. He said that I had threatened him, that I made comment, which none of that took place. And we were trying to get the audio for and just coincidentally, there's no audio to back up his statement. But that was my piece of evidence to say, hey, this did not take place. This was not said.
Well, I mean, this is something that Frank Serpico, the former cop who was featured and played by Al Capone in movies, he wrote about it. He called it test-a-lying. Is this one of those test-a-lying examples?
Well, I did not say it, so yes, that is absolutely correct. I did not say that. Again, like I said, we were hoping that the video and the audio would have came out and proved the fact, but they didn't have video or audio at the police station. Or again, I mean, why would I go from that demeanor to just straight up, seeing him out and everything else? I told him, I was like, well, arrest me now.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, usually people that are out to get the police have some reason.
Correct. And again, if I'm out to get police, like, I know that I've seen comments and people are like, oh, you set the cops up. Oh, first off, how do you set the cop up anyway? I can't make him violate my rights. And two, I would have stayed at the original scene, which was right down the road, to wait for the police to show up. I was actually trying to leave and go home because I didn't want confrontation with them.
Okay, so Jason, now we've recapped what happened, but what's happened since then? Because you've said that this has been a major disruption in your life because of what happened afterwards.
That is correct. Now, what happened afterwards is I was walking home from the store, and a maroon Ford truck looked like an extended cab, license plate. I believe the first letter, or I want to say FH or EF, I think it was. Yeah, EF. That's all I got on that. Well, they rolled beside me. There were two of them, one in the driver and another passenger. Stopped me and asked me, hey, aren't you that guy that was out there by the truck? I'm like, I'm not sure what you mean. I thought they were talking about, no, the one video. And I said, oh, if you meant the one that got arrested for filming the traffic light, yeah, that was me. Well, then the passenger yells out, leave the case alone or we're going to kill your family. And wow. I'm like, and as soon as I get my camera,
you had somebody show up at your home and threaten you?
This was right down the road from my house. Like I said, I was walking down from the store, and this was right there, I mean, catty corner from my house, and said these words to me, and they hauled ass immediately. So I didn't even get a chance to get this on film or nothing. I don't know if they were cops. I don't know if they were cop friends or if it was just somebody playing a sick game or something. But I have to expect the worst of things. Well, it came to my attention when I told my attorney about this. So he was up in the air about what to do. Either contact the sheriff, the FBI, or I'll be a crimes investigation. And then he told me that they were that same day he was they basically didn't come out and threaten him from what he said, but it was more like an intimidation or a challenge. So again, I ended up having to leave. I left Austintown. I'm somewhere. I'm not going to say where, obviously.
That's okay. You don't have to tell us where you're filming today.
So anyway, but I've left town. But because of that, though, I've been unable to go to my job and things like that. So I ended up losing my job over this, because my boss didn't want the problems there for me going to work, cops showing up there or anything. He doesn't want to meet, he doesn't want to bring the company involved. So, which I could understand that, but it hurts. So it put me in another situation here. And all for doing what I was allowed to do to begin with.
Well, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous that up in Ohio, apparently the First Amendment is a privilege and not a right. So, what have you been doing to fight back? I heard you got an attorney. What else have you been doing?
I have actually been proactive in, number one, I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing because it's not illegal. So now I've been out filming a lot more. I have joined up with, well, Cop Block has been helping me out some. Like when I go out to film and things, they've actually been gathering up and just kind of, doing their thing, but at the same time allowing me to do my thing. So that way there's other witnesses there. So I've been out, and actually I've been out to a few Cop Block events. And I've been filming traffic lights too. So, actually, I have a good video. I'll have to give you Grant. Hopefully, you can get up there. But I'm actually down in Zanesville, and I actually asked a cop about the same situation, and asked if he would, would he arrest somebody for that? And he said, no. That's not. What's that?
Yeah, he wouldn't do it, right?
No, correct. Yeah, he said that's not a crime, and. So I took a video, actually another person took a video of me videoing the traffic light in front of the cops. But no, I've been proactive again, but I've also, trying to volunteer in my time now with photography is not a crime. So trying to help do public records requests, going out and getting videos and things like that. I went to the RTA station down in Cleveland. The lady got beat up for the the RTA passed that. So went down there and started doing
recent photography.
Yeah.
Crime.com story. That's right.
Yeah, correct. I went actually down and did some, got some video for that and things, some pictures. Me and Cop Block, Adamos Freeman, Larry Freeman, and Dio from Greater Valley Cop Block, Ohio Cop Block. We all went down there and got some footage on that. So I mean, I've still been out, still doing these things, stuff like that. I'm actually getting more. So as soon as I can, get back to work and get some better cameras and with some better audio.
Definitely, it'll be appreciated. So, Jason, where can our audience find you on Twitter?
It is the letter J Morrison 2010. That's J Morrison 2010. Okay,
and I understand that because of your troubles and because of your need for legal representation to enforce the right of freedom of speech in America, you've put up a GoFundMe page. Tell our audience where they can find your GoFundMe page.
You can find, I believe that there is a link at Photography is Not a Crime.
And we're going to share your GoFundMe page into the Google event page and into the YouTube video as well. But where can they find it?
I'm not. It's GoFundMe, but it would be under a Morrison Legal Fund. I think that's the name of it. I don't actually know the link offhand. Okay. It's on my. I know I've posted it to my Facebook. I have posted it, all over the internet. I'm not sure what you're getting at here.
Just trying to share with the audience, all those folks out there watching.
Oh yeah, well I've posted it. I've posted it on my Facebook account. I believe Photography is Not a Crime has posted a link to way back about a month ago or something like that. But you will be able to find it here soon. Again, on photographyiasnotacrime.com. And I'm going to try to put it on my Twitter account, so please follow, and it'll be, again, J Morrison 2010.
Alrighty, well, Jason, thank you very much for joining us on PINAC News today, and I hope that things work out, and we're going to keep talking, of course.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much, Grant. Thank you all for watching.
Well, that's all we have for this afternoon. We're going to have another interview later with the Gainesville man who was pulled over by armored police. I'm Grant Stern for PINAC News. Be the media.